Zoochosis, a game about saving animals in a zoo as a zookeeper.
The best game of the evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to give zero introduction to this. Roll that trailer so people can see this absolute like
Gem of a game.
madness. Oh,
So if you're just watching on Spotify, you're petting this cute little giraffe in this eerie little setting, and you're looking at this giraffe through this thermal scope, and now he's
Who
puking
just-
and turns into this mutant-y giraffe takes off. It's very odd. Very,
Giraffe
very
spider?
odd. Giraffe spider is a way to put it. And then the other giraffe attacks you. And so essentially what you are in this game is a zookeeper, and it's from the, as you can see in the footage, if you're just listening on Spotify, it's this body cam footage. So that realistic feel that you're watching yourself or watching through the eyes of like your character. It's a horror survival game, and it really has the feel of being dark, very jump scary, with many different aspects of the game. You'll see like dead animals and like chopping up things. It seems like pure chaos.
this part really gets me. So again, guys, if you're just listening on the Spotify, the thing that we saw there is I do believe that looked like a human body going into the grinder to become food for these animals.
I wonder if it's not a human. I think it might be the alien, like the mutant of it, and like it's just bunched up to look like a human. And then I don't know what animal this is, but that is crazy looking. What was that? Like, what kind of animal is that?
I have no idea.
Yeah, but like we said, so this game is a horror survival game that you become. It's a first-person psychological body cam horror simulation is the way they describe it. So you get to play as a zookeeper, and essentially your goal is to take care of the animals by feeding them, cleaning up after them. But there's a parasite that begins to infect the animals and that transforms them into mutants. And so on top of taking care of these animals, you have to find a vaccination / cure for them. And another thing about it is it's a choice-based game. So like in the end, like your choices will matter on whether or not you save the animals, whether or not you die, whether the animals die. And so I think it's, you know what it kind of reminds me of is one like Dave's friend Storm, and like a guy that I kind of hang out with too sometimes in his stream. He plays mortuary assistant, and it gives me that vibe. You know what I mean? It's like, it's definitely a completely different setting, but the way the game kind of moves and plays, it gives me that vibe of like mortuary assistant and a little bit of like just horror games like that in general. So that's why it looks interesting to me from that standpoint, because it seems like a game that it would be right up his alley, to be honest. But it looks cool to me. I don't know what you think.
Can I just throw it out there and say that this game is Five Nights at Freddy's when you're a zookeeper?
Yeah, that's another thought I had of it too. It has so many like feels of different games, but also completely different and unique to it, and that's why I think it looks really cool.
Yeah, it does. It does look really, really cool, and I think this is going to be a great game. And I think this game is going to get like a lot of buzz actually, because like we said, we talked about this. Storm, shout out Storm. Know you listen, buddy. Thank you for listening. This game is going to be a great stream game. Don't you think?
It's going to have that jump scare and like, haha, you jumped or you died kind of feel to it. So
it's going to be a very like consumable thing. You know what I mean? Where it feels like you're going to be able to play this game for like 35 to 45 minutes, have one experience that kind of happens, and then you have like a very like, you have an end point. You know what I mean? And it's very much like, I think this is going to take off in the streaming community. I think it's going to be really, really cool in the streaming community.
The cool thing about it is it's so unique compared to other games too. Like I just want to know, like, people are so creative, like compared to me, like I'm not that creative of a person, but just the fact it's like, you know what, let's make a game that's going to be scary, what that hasn't been done before. Well, what if we make it about a zoo? He's like, well, zoos aren't scary. Well, let's make it about zoo animals getting infected, turn into mutants, but also a horror game. It's like, I love it. Sold.
It's a great idea. Such a great idea.
If I were to come up with that, it's like somebody else would come up to me like, "No, that's stupid, Adam. Like, we're never gonna make a game like that." But like, you gotta know, like, two people were on the same page of this, like, solid idea. Let's do it, and that's so cool to me. It's like they have these creative minds to put it into action, and to me, it's unique and so much. It's so cool.
I think it looks really, really cool in the sense of like it is, you know, it's giving me a lot of Five Nights at Freddy's feel, but it's giving me Five Nights at Freddy feel with like more to do. You know what I mean? And I know the Five Nights at Freddy's franchise has kind of evolved since the original games, but if you go back to the original games and kind of look at like where they came from, it's scary, but like checking the monitors and like conserving power and stuff like that. It's like okay, but I kind of want to do like it would be funner to go, you know, throughout the, you know, the oh my
The
god,
arcade
I'm
or the
yeah,
mute, yeah, the
yeah.
children's place.
Yeah, it would be funner to go throughout the children's place and like do things, right? And it's like this game has those aspects. So we've seen in the trailer, it's like you got to feed the animals, you got to take care of them. It's like if they're infected, you have to go like administer the vaccine. Like some of the animals unfortunately aren't going to make it and you have to deal with that. You know what I mean? It's like there's going to be things that you're going to do and it's like it's a cool way to get you out into the world because it would be kind of boring if you didn't have something to do and like go out there. You have to go out there. You have to go interact with these like infected animals and you risk your life. You know what I mean? And I think it was a really, really cool setting and a really, really cool way to do it. I think they brought like a very different vibe to the game and I'm actually looking forward to it.
Yeah, me too. And so it's getting a thumbs up from us. And this one is made by Clapperheads, which is also a fun name for a developer. It's going to come out this year, quarter two, so 2023 quarter two. And I'm just curious. I'm like, how many like different endings is this game going to have? It's got to have at least like at least three. One, you die. Two, all the animals die. Or three, like you save all the animals. Like that's at least three. There's going to be more, I think.
I would say there's probably going to be at least five or six to get the replay value in. And I think I wouldn't be surprised if one of them is you end up getting infected.
Ooh,
Yeah, that
that's
would
a good
be
idea. Yeah,
that would be a cool ending. You
yeah,
getting infected, and then I'm sure they're going to come up with some crazy nonsense for like the
yeah,
last two.
yeah. The setup for Zoochosis 2.
They'll set it up for Zoochosis too, where the animals not only get infected, but they breach the zoo and make it into like the general pop.
There we go, and it's gonna be called Peeplosis. Peoplecosis. It turns
Yeah.
into a normal zombie game.
Yes, and then it turns into a normal zombie game, except the
Yeah,
zombies are all giraffes and penguins.
right. Yeah. There's not much else to say about this game because it's so simple, or like it's very unique, but there's only it speaks for itself, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. Is like this game, there's not much where we could add to what this game is not already showing us, and it's one that it's going to be on my or like playlist, and I'm super excited about this one.
Yeah, drop it on your wish list again, guys. It looks really, really cool. I can't imagine that the price tag on this is gonna be super ridiculous. And if you're a streamer and you're constantly in that streamer boat of like, I don't know what to play. You know what I mean? Like I want to stream, but I don't know what to play. Drop this on your wish list and get this on your stream early. Be one of the first people to get this on your stream because I really feel like this is going to take off in the streaming community. Should be really, really good. I do have one question about the game though for you. And like we said, it does have the body cam footage, and that's kind of the view that you're getting of the game. Does that body cam fisheye footage like does that feel weird to you looking at that trailer? Like, does it just feel unnatural?
I think it feels the opposite, to be honest. I think it adds a element of like, because you have so much, a lot of these first person games, like they don't have a good peripheral. Like, I can take that back. PC, you can get up to 120 degrees of peripheral, but in real life, you can see much more than 120 degrees, if that makes sense. I just think it's hard to make it not look like a bubble, if that makes sense, like with the fisheye look. But I think it makes it look a little bit more immersive, like because you can see more of like as you would as like a real person. I think, if that makes sense. But that's just my perspective.
When I first watched the trailer, I was like, "Is this a VR game?"
And it looks like it should be.
Yeah, it looks like it should be a VR game, right? I think it's gonna be really great. Adam thinks it's gonna be really, really great too. Drop it on your wish list, and definitely check out the trailer. If you guys are just listening on the Spotify, do yourself a favor, head over to YouTube, check out the trailer, because it's absolutely insane.